Tell us about how the week down in the Bitcoin mine was to kick things off this week.
Oh God. It's great till today. We had to do some mechanical work, and it's back up and running. So really, actually, it's not been a bad week. Bitcoin's up, gas prices are up, everything's good.
So you guys are mining away.
Yep, it's ripping pretty good. It's a little bit of minor repair that needs to go on. That's about it, though. It's pretty smooth sailing. Pretty smooth.
Layman life is down working his mojo in South Texas, which is why he could not join us this week.
Gotcha.
He's doing what?
He's dealing with landowners down in the Dilley area.
Oh, Dilly.
Yeah,
No fun.
he's probably actually at the feed store in Dilley right now, drinking beers with people.
And Trade's nephew. He's not in Dilly though. He's in like Big Wells or something. What's that?
We got stuff there.
Oh, what y'all do?
So we're just hanging out by ourselves right now. I don't think anybody's paying attention. It is.
90s on here, and
I know he'll take over. So we got GW in the waiting room. Should we add him in? I don't know what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, go ahead. Is he a landman?
GW, you're on the show. We're not sure what we're talking about, so
Something.
it's all yours. Got to check your audio input though. Settings, audio input.
Oh shit! I just saw that. Her costume for Halloween's going to be it's a red bucket though. Oh, fuck balls.
Here's him out.
Unicorn. She's got a little rock on top of it. It's spicy or fancy
She
ketchup.
looked like she was fucking down to
I would-
real life
We're
too.
live.
I would take spicy.
I mean, there's
ketchup.
only going to be like 4 people that watch this one this week.
Why?
I mean, because we're less sexy when we're not broadcasting live from
Do you need me to
the
show my
office.
face with my witch hat on?
I could do a goat. Do a goat. What a goat.
Like we currently have 0 viewers right now.
Okay, well, let me show you.
Yeah, I'm going from the Twitter account.
Oh, Maybe Big D will come in.
But I think
Got front of mouth.
the really interesting thing is, will oil ever go back down?
You look at every other business, everything else in the world is the most expensive that it has ever been, ever, except for these commodities. And that's what's scary, is that at some point it's going to catch up.
Well, and people talk about like how high gas prices will lead to like an economic slowdown.
Mhm.
I
But-
don't know.
Well, right, but even
Yeah.
if the driving cuts back, the electrical generation, and if like the winter's cold this year, there's just so many other,
Yeah.
And like what Chris has been talking about a lot, the fact that OPEC doesn't have the spare capacity to add to the market.
Yeah,
really.
I think that's what you're finding out. Because I would guess if they did, they'd be dumping it.
And then, what most people that are not inside the business don't understand is how every operator has already drilled like all their tier 1 acreage, like all their best well locations.
Yeah, for the last 2 or 3 years,
Yeah.
that's basically what they've done.
Because they had to.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
absolutely.
Had to go the most profitable stuff. But at $80 oil, all your tier 2 stuff's like prime acreage now.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it
there's
makes
still-
money, but like the
Yeah.
rates, people are so used to seeing these like tier 1 wells come in and
Crazy-ass
just
rates.
yeah,
Yeah.
rip in.
Did anybody
Ads,
see the
like,
Haynesville well get drilled for like a record depth? Did y'all see
That
that?
Vine one that was
I
like
think
3
it was
miles,
Vine. Yeah,
Which one?
Vine drilled one that was
like a 3-mile lateral.
almost 30,000.
No, Chesapeake drilled the GHFI or whatever over in
90s. Can you hear us?
And that was a 15,000. That was the first 15,000 footer, and it came on. I
Like,
think it was 16.
I can hear y'all. Yes.
All right.
Probably completable lateral. This completable lateral is 15,270.
Yes, it's a
We're just
Perforated interval was.
I want to make sure that we highlight
15.
Olgoff, ex-wife, her changes in her lifestyle. I thought that was one of the best tweets this week.
I
was off the
feel
fucking
so
floor. That
toxic.
was awesome.
I feel so toxic. I mean,
Did you send her $1 at least on Venmo? You're like, here's $1 at least, you know?
No, I ordered her food to her house. I ordered DoorDash to her house so that she would have to go get it. You little bitch.
That's
I'll buy you dinner, but you're gonna have to go pick it up.
Pick it up and
You
bring it
dumb
to you. Holy shit.
That's awesome. I will say when Dan chimed in on it, I was like, holy shit. Let me see what he's saying. But he didn't know whether to be worried or respectful, I think.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
I wasn't even that fucked up when I tweeted that either. I had like 3 drinks last night. It was really It was really just like a natural thing
It
for
just
me.
happened.
It sucks in here.
Smells.
Smells like what?
I don't know. It just
It smells like
smells.
all
It
right.
smells fresh. and
Oil.
new.
We've got OKC Geo Boy that is going to jump in, assuming his audio input settings work correctly.
Okay, CGO boy.
Yeah,
That's a cute name.
I like it. I like that too.
you gotta check you gotta go to settings and you gotta check your audio
My
input.
wife hates
You
them.
know,
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, I just wanna make my bits. I thought they were kind of cool.
90s. Well, OKC Geo Boy figures out how to use the microphone on their computer or something.
Is it just shoelaces? I can't decide.
What are your feelings about the Astros?
I kind of like.
I'm feeling very excited. I will say that they are more exciting than the Texans this year, but I think they're going to take it. I
Hello?
would hate to be Mattress Mac, but I know he took the other side of the bet too. So
Hello?
Yeah,
Go
okay,
ahead,
so
man, go ahead.
we can hear you.
Yeah, what was Tulsa so fucking gross?
Wow. Yeah.
Uh,
like it.
Wow. That's what I'm saying. I just want.
it just sounds like somebody that wishes they lived in Tulsa.
The thing is, there's like
did he just do a drive-by, or did you kick him out?
I guess so. Just a really angry Oklahoma City resident,
yeah.
which is
Why didn't they
understandable
break in?
because Oklahoma City is just a garbage place.
That's pretty terrible.
He jumped in and then ran out.
You know where that guy lives? He lives in a thing called the Big Friendly. I guarantee it. That's where that individual I just called in lives.
Is that a gay neighborhood in
Yeah,
Oklahoma City?
yeah, pretty much.
What just happened?
Somebody just had a drive by,
On the,
talking shit
They're
about Tulsa.
OKC Geo or something.
It took them like 15 minutes to figure out how to work their microphone, and then
all they wanted to say,
Just to make one comment.
Tulsa sucks.
and then he got off.
I mean, if you want to talk about it, let's talk about it. Let's compare it. Let's do it.
I mean,
Olgoff is like, come on.
places it's like, oh, I'd much rather be in OKC.
No
I mean,
one. Literally no one.
The only argument I hear is like, if you work in oil and gas, there's like Devon, Chesapeake,
Yeah,
Yeah, you have
Continental.
more options.
You got like more options, more opportunities.
sure. If you work in oil and gas and you love cubicles and never go anywhere with your career, you love Oklahoma City.
You know, the last few times I've been, like, I've had a pretty good time. Like,
Okay.
I'll just, you know.
Oh, I had a great time when I went to Oklahoma City.
okay, OKC Geo Boy, I guess is back.
Oh,
He's
he's back.
reloaded and he's ready
Just
to.
get him back in the
Get it out of his system.
I like Norman.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
Norman's a hell of a lot better than Oklahoma City.
Welcome
That's
back.
why everybody lives in the suburbs,
Right,
and
right.
then just goes in.
Are you a Texan guy, or are you actually a OKC kind of guy?
No one here is OKC.
I think he
No,
forgot.
the OKC Geo boy. That's what I'm curious. Is he just like a supporter of non-Tulsa, or is he like a Texas guy that's?
I think
Talking
he's a
shit.
Tulsa hater.
Oh, he's just a Tulsa hater. They have those? Is that like a gang?
This guy's from Lawton. He works in Devon. And they're like, whatever.
No,
He's out in San Bernardino County,
Years,
Actually,
years
what's
ago.
California.
Right.
He's a Chevron guy. It's okay.
I live in Mustang.
I
Mustang.
was
we
going to
go.
say it's Mustang.
There he is.
There he is.
Welcome back.
Is
Is
that
that actually him?
the prettiest part of Oklahoma or no?
No, I mean Oklahoma City is literally built on the ugliest part of the entire state
Yeah.
of Oklahoma. Like the worst spot.
So it's like El Paso.
That's probably fair. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm, just- I'm not an El Paso fan, so
Paso is probably
if
more.
I had one to pick, it'd be El Paso. It's
We talk
prettier
about
east
Oklahoma
you go.
City, like I'm just waiting for like a chicken to walk across the road, or like a tumbleweed.
I did a summer internship at Continental the summer of 2014,
Okay.
and they have a gym in their building. So I used to go back like after work and go work out. And I swear, every night at like 9 p.m., there's like a dog food plant or something in close proximity to downtown Oklahoma City, and they like vent everything in the evenings, and you just get this waft of like the dog food factory rolling through downtown.
Old horse meat.
Oh,
Good horse meat.
You know, and I mean, if Devin didn't have the 95% unoccupied glass phallus, they would have moved everything to Tulsa in the WPX Devin merger.
I could have gotten
that
it out there.
building is coming along nicely. It looks really good too.
Oh yeah, the
WPX
the
building.
abandoned.
Yeah.
Follow my nose.
Oh yeah.
This is where we're at.
Smells good in here.
See? It smells good.
I think it smells weird.
We need to get Dom to call in. He's been commenting.
Dom.
He likes Cummins.
Don?
Hey, speaking of that, that reminds me of something. I was trying to get updated on all that crap that went down in Washington, D.C. Was the majority of what those senators or congressional leaders were talking about was bullshit from like companies that Chevron and others had taken over? Or where did they get their information from? Because I was even
It
I'm
sounded
kind of progressive, so I would kind of listen, and I was like, where are they getting these numbers from? Like even the indigenous people, I've never seen them post stuff like that was spewing out of their mouth this time.
The best one I heard was about the refineries and how white supremacy
Oh yeah, that was bad.
is all around these refineries because that's where all the black neighborhoods is where they put refineries. But I pulled up a map of all U.S. refineries, and I guarantee you there's at least 50% of them are in the middle of the Midwest. And there's not large groups of African Americans in that area. Maybe in Baytown, Houston, maybe that area is.
The
But
neighborhoods were built
It's
around
more Hispanic.
the
More
refineries.
Hispanic.
I would say it's Hispanic, or I mean, there's one in Coffeyville. There's one in, where the
I mean,
Tiger
there's
King
one-
lives.
there's one right across the
Linwood.
river.
There's 2 or 3 here
West
in Tulsa.
But who lives in West Tulsa?
I
Poor people.
Blue-
mean, poor
I'm not saying,
people.
like
I would say
I
minority.
don't
that.
think anybody
I mean,
has a
eventually
industrial
it's
refinery here.
Yeah.
here in Tulsa.
Yeah,
I mean, it depends on how you define lives around.
it's all
it.
like
I mean,
industrial.
if you consider the fact that the wind blows west to east, you're like going across the river into Midtown, the nicest part of Tulsa. I mean, so it's really the off gassing and all
Right.
that you're worried about.
It's actually hitting
really
like most
the richest,
prominent.
So
nicest part of town.
we got
Tulsa.
Alberta calling in from Canada again
Is this
this
garbage?
week. Yeah,
Garbage.
Yeah, that really.
Alberta, can you hear us? Got to make sure your audio input
I'll
settings
do
are
it today.
set up right.
Oh yeah, I can hear you. I just have myself on mute there. Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
There you go.
Yep.
You were live.
Fucking live. We'll do it fucking live.
That's the motto around here.
Do it fucking live.
Fuck yeah.
What's going on, dude?
The guy that stood up at the end of that hearing, though,
That was great.
Oh yeah, he was like a congressman
Florida.
from Florida.
Congressman. Yeah.
was great.
I just want to know, Albert, this is 90s. Who's going to make more content over the next month during the winter, the colder months? Is there some stuff you're going to put out that really shows us the impact that the colder weather has up there or no?
Yeah, I mean, as long as I'm out on location this winter, which I should be, barring the unforeseen. Yeah. I'll do some time lapse snowfall videos, watching the rig get snowed on, and I'll show you some shit.
So when you're on
I'll say-
location in Canada and it's cold as nutsack, what kind of like living do you have? Are they igloo shaped, or is this like a
Well, initially they just start out like a normal house, although very expensive. Just imagine a normal house, but you just increase the price tag by 3 times,
right?
and make sure it's owned by someone who doesn't live in Canada. So it starts out that way, but then it gets covered in snow and it sort of turns somewhat igloo-ish. Yes.
There you go.
Yep.
So when I worked in North Dakota, everybody wore Baffin boots from Canada.
Yep.
You rock the Baffins, dude?
I fucking do. You know I do.
Oh, nice. Dude,
I tried to wear Dunlops, but my ankles are too big.
Is that like a
I'm
white
sorry,
stuff?
I've never heard of these boots. Please do tell me. As someone who got frozen last year, I'm curious.
90s. These are the equivalent of a white shrimping boot for the Canadians.
And what's the name of it again?
Baffins. Baffin, like Baffin Island.
I have no idea what that means. Bathins boots. Let's see if I can find it. Athens.
Here's
Athens
a
boots.
pair of Baffins right here.
Right. Oh, we got video.
See, there you go.
Oh
See?
shit!
There you go. You see my Baffins?
Wow.
And they're like, they have
Holy shit!
like if you take like a cross section, they look like space boots. They have like
Yeah.
layers of like aluminum and like,
Different types
You
of
got those
They
insulation.
almost look like firefighter boots that we use here on the Gulf Coast.
So these ones are not insulated.
oh,
These are just like I'll wear them all winter because I can slip in and out, and I'm not outside all day. If I were outside all day, I'd have like a minus 100 boot. The minus 100 boots they're something. They keep you warm. You can stand there in minus 30 and your feet won't get cold.
Oh, you're saying Baffin, B-A-F-F.
Yeah,
Right.
like Baffin Island.
I'm sorry, I'm hearing it as Baffin with a T-H. Okay, I found it, Baffin. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. See, Baffin Industrial.
Yeah, I found it. Wow. These are some rough suckers. Wow.
So the thing with a Baffin boot is they're roomy enough that I can wear like bomber socks in them. You know what bomber socks are?
No.
Okay.
Teach us.
Hold on.
We're getting schooled over here.
Just give me a minute here.
Right before this is all over. It's going on this sock.
Just looking. I'm looking for a pair here. I know I got a pair.
You gotta hide stuff in these boxes.
And the reason I ask about this is because like what you and Hot Dog do have never been interesting to me. But after we had that hard freeze, some of this cold weather stuff is starting to interest me. So
Well, I mean, it's. I appreciate why, let's say in Oklahoma or Texas, you don't do to your wellheads what we do because, you maybe only have a freezing event like that once every 5 years or 10 years or whatever. Like, I understand why it probably wouldn't be worth the cost to do it, but, I mean, it's meaningful. If you're gonna have $200 an MCF gas for a week, it might be worth it to have your wellhead working at that point.
Oh yeah.
what are you talking about doing your wellhead?
Well, you
wrapping it in
insulate
heat
it.
tape?
That
You
sounds
insulate.
logical.
You tape. All kinds of
Yeah,
shit.
insulation and heat tape.
It's like those Poseidon tanks. And
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Oh yeah.
big heated fraction tanks or whatever.
Yes. Well, what we would do when I worked up there, it's changed. Some takes just a tank that comes in on a truck, and you like
See these?
Above ground
One.
pool.
These are bomber socks.
llama,
Bama. BAMA.
Bombs.
like
And they're
Obama.
Like,
See, exactly like Obama socks, but they have a job and shit.
But they actually do shit.
They go to work. Look at that.
it
That's
almost looks like a booty, like a
Exactly.
like a
It's
swimming
exactly.
boot.
It's like an insulated booty.
Oh.
so. Those are like extremely warm, is what you're saying.
Yeah, like you'll put on, say, wool socks, and then you might put on a Obama sock, and then you put your feet in your boot.
Fuck that.
Always
Another
put your
level.
feet in your boot. Otherwise they're not particularly useful.
So I think the real question of the day, or the question of the afternoon, is oil ever going to go back down?
Never.
Well, I mean, I don't know. If I could tell you the future, I would be so wealthy that I wouldn't have time to talk on this live stream. Actually, that's not true. I would just shit talk way more than I do now. I'd just be an amplified version of myself because that's what money does to people. Is oil ever going to go down? I mean, I think as long as governments and asset allocators and all this shit, as long as they keep going on this divest from fossil fuels, ESG, carbon reduction crap, I don't think oil goes down.
I agree.
I don't think.
Best thing you can do for the oil business.
Yeah.
Try and build fucking solar panels.
Yeah.
Bring it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Bring it on.
yeah,
I
I'm
think
not
I
scared of solar panels.
We'll
at
vote
all.
Democrat from now on.
Yeah.
Oh man, like
Huge Obama
when
fan.
Biden got elected, like
Be the head of the Department of Energy.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
you know, I by nature, I like Trump. Like if I were American, I would have voted for Trump, totally. And if Trump were running in Canada, we had some sort of weird, apologetic Trump version up here, then I would vote for him too. But when the fucking U.S. election happened, I went into the office and we were talking about it. And one of the guys in the company is all like, "Oh, it's such bullshit. Trump lost." Blah. And my business partner, who's the CEO, is like, "Look, guys, what you're going to find is that Joe Biden getting elected is the greatest gift that the Canadian oil patch has ever received." And the motherfucker was right. Because, because we're sitting in an inflationary environment where the cost of steel's up, the cost of fucking everything is up, and the price of oil's up, and we're sitting here with the lowest decline assets in the world. We basically have a money printing machine sitting here. And, I think he's right. We'll see what the backlash to a Biden administration is in 2022 and 2024. It's hard to say, though.
Yeah. Yeah. So what is the temperature up there right now?
Right now, it's somewhere. It's around 0. It was just snowing. Like
Celsius. That's
it was snowing an hour ago, and then it stopped.
That's so cold.
That's cold. What is it today?
Yeah. Well, 0 Celsius, so like 32 Fahrenheit.
But it's you guys are getting snow.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, we just got a little bit.
Day like today, you're outside for a couple hours. What are you putting on? Like a t-shirt and some khaki pants?
Dude's wearing
Yeah.
Bro vest. Come on now.
I'm wearing a t-shirt and I was wearing my plaid jacket that I wear. I basically have 2 speeds. In the summer, once it gets hot enough, I swap from jeans to these Walmart basketball shorts that I have. They're super comfortable, and flip-flops. And they're not really flip-flops. They're basically like shower slippers, but I have like 4 pairs of them because I take them to camp and write my name on them and use them as my indoor camp shoes and my shack shoes and whatever the fuck. And then once things get cold enough, I swap to jeans, cowboy boots, and a plaid jacket. And I'll wear that plaid jacket basically all the time, even when it's -40.
Yep.
I don't know if I'd want to hang out outside for several hours at that temperature in my plaid jacket, but that's what I wear.
Where's probably the most tempered climate oil field there is?
Like the
Bakersfield?
best place to work.
I'm
in
just
the whole
saying,
thing,
like,
where it's
if you don't want to be balls cold, you don't want to be fucking Houston hot, you don't want to be West Texas hot.
Bakersfield's inland enough that it's gonna be a hot.
That's
summer
not
bitch.
not going to
That
get
cool
your
breeze. Yeah, it's hot.
so
And it's the desert.
Osage County.
No, I mean Oklahoma. Our average cold in the winter and our average hot in the summer is the biggest spread in
Swing.
any state in the United States. So it's
If you like
the
seasons,
difference. Is the
okay.
worst. I mean, I don't give a shit about the
Barnett
hot.
Shale.
Well,
God, that's a
you'll never get cold there.
Dude, go to
between
that big sour.
BRV and Alberta, are we going to have a colder winter this time, or is it all a bunch of bullshit? That's what I want to hear from you two. One from the north and one in the middle.
I don't know, man. Fuck, if I could tell the future, I'd be fucking, again, I would be very wealthy and really obnoxious, more obnoxious than I
You'd
already
spend
am.
a lot more time on Twitter.
And
Oh
You'd
my-
be a
well,
weatherman
I
if
don't
you
know how-
could predict that.
How could I spend that much more time on Twitter?
Alberta would have a pizza party a fucking day if he was wealthy. I guarantee.
Oh my God, the fucking pizza parties.
He'd buy real
maybe,
pizza.
you know
He'd
what?
buy Papa
had-
John.
Dude, if I had like $1 billion and I was willing to like blow it all, I may somehow figure out the method to make pizza parties a worthwhile investment. But I probably have to set up
Impossible. You'll never be able to do that.
You could spend $1 billion.
You spend $1
I think you could
billion.
monetize it. I would support
The
you.
world's largest pizza.
All right,
Still not gonna
Alberta,
be-
we're gonna just dump in a bunch of people that are sitting in the waiting room and just
Good.
kind of see
what
how
happens.
crazy
Let's
this
roll.
gets.
Get some-
Oh yeah, let's fucking make it happen.
Okay, Colin's coming in.
All right, guys.
Bring in Colin.
Oh, there's West Texas Wall.
Landman Dad's here.
Landman Dad. Oh,
What are you doing? What's going on?
Dad, what's up?
Gotta
You've
check
been
your
angry this
make sure
week.
you're not on mute. Check your audio input settings.
Yeah, so people with me, they do
Like
drugs.
pizza parties.
Well, I'm scared that it's going to be a very cold winter. That's the reason I ask. So, Albert, tell me if the cold weather's coming. I can go
Well,
buy
I mean,
something.
it's hard to say because like last winter was really mild, except for about a 2.5 week period where it was just fucking minus 35 for 2 weeks.
Is that
but I
in
was-
February when we got that cold weather?
Yeah,
or
exactly.
when?
Yeah, exactly. That's when it cold snapped for us too. I was up on a rig for most of January, and I mean, shit, it was like single digits, approaching zero. Like it was beautiful, and I was up by Slave Lake. It was weird. It's never that fucking warm in January.
Weird. My grandfather swears that it's always the coldest February the 15th to February like the 25th. or
Yeah,
something
but
like that.
that doesn't always apply up here because we get Chinooks and shit. Like I remember one time being out on February 15th or 14th in a t-shirt on a roof of a barn pulling shingles because it was fucking 14 above.
Wow.
You never know, but
So who's
Listen,
up next? We got
Well, he's 88, so some of his wisdom is questionable sometimes. But yeah, that's his
yeah,
belief.
but been around for a long time, got a lot of experience.
He actually lived in Iowa and up in Canada in not Alberta, Ontario. He was up in Ontario starting up a chemical plant.
Hispanic.
Okay.
Mexico, I think it was. And he said he would never go back to Canada. He said it was so fucking cold that he swear he lost a nut, and he wasn't about to lose the other.
Oh man, yeah, Ontario in the winter is funny. Like they talk about a dry cold and shit. It's true. It's totally true. I spent a winter in Toronto, and I mean, it might have hit minus 18 thereabouts, but it was so fucking cold because it's so humid. You come out here and it's dry as a bone, and fuck, it's minus 40, minus 45, and as long as you bundle up well enough, you're okay.
90s. You don't have to travel all the way to Canada to lose your nuts. All you have to do is get married.
Exactly.
Well, I already did that. He didn't know that back then. This is a story. He's trying to, inform his grandson. Don't go up to Canada. You'll lose a nut. But luckily, he had one to make some babies. Clearly. Well, see, he said he had left Puerto Rico. He was down there with the Puerto Rican, whatever it is, refining system or whatever. And he was like, that was the dumbest thing to go from Puerto Rico to up to Canada. He was like, I was so cold. There was no way that I was going to acclimate. And so he left after a year and a half because he just couldn't take it.
That's a swing. Who's this? Oh, hot dog is in
Oh,
the
we got the whole cartel here. Get him in.
We're trying to, but people got to make sure they got their audio settings right so that they can actually talk.
Oh shit.
That was the other curiosity I have. As it gets colder, Hot dog has that refrigerant, and I'm so curious about like the compressors and stuff for NGLs, LGs or NGLs, natural gas liquids.
NGLs.
Yeah,
And
Joe.
just curious, does the liquids really get knocked down by that colder weather, and you don't have to use the compressors and stuff anymore? Because it's just a simple process of it's so cold. You get the liquids not more than the gas now.
I don't think that probably is true.
If you get way cold,
It's got to be like
way fucking cold. I mean, you'll
When
have
you-
some out of liquid, some.
Yeah.
But you got to get really fucking cold for it.
But also, I mean, you can't let your wellhead get below freezing because you got to keep it, because if you have any water and she'll exactly, she'll freeze up. So they don't let it get that cold. I don't think it, I just don't think it's the kind of thing that you can let happen pre, something to knock your water out. And I'm not a gas treating or oil treating expert, so I don't want to speak with authority about that. But
I never thought of that. You're right. If you let it get too cold, you're going to freeze that water in the line and start losing flow.
and that's exactly
You're
why.
going to have that build up. It's going to build
that's
up.
why-
I didn't think about that. Yeah. So
That's why we have our wellheads and flow lines insulated and heat traced and shit. So
You just you pump a shit ton of glycol, or do you just heat it all?
Methanol.
methanol.
You chemically treat it because there's no way you can actually wrap and heat trace the whole system. You've got to chemically put it in.
No, you can't you'll do it where it's above ground, and then when it gets below ground, it's subject to whatever temperature you're hitting, and then depending on how deep it is, it can be a freezing temperature down there. So that's you got the methanol going through it.
There's nobody on EFT that I know of that works North Slope or the pipeline. So I worked at TU at that research center. We did an Alyeska project, right? So I met the guys, but I've never seen anybody on Twitter just fucking.
Well, I mean, I think Frack Slap did a hitch up there one time, so he could probably run a consulting firm. So we should.
Jesus.
Hey, I took samples in the snow one time at the refinery. I thought, I'm ready for it.
Yeah, you could consult.
I could be your consultant for cold weather.
Yep,
Basically, like we're doing
perfect.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? You could probably create a cold weather content business in which you crack the code on monetizing pizza parties.
Right.
You
But the pizza parties are all day old leftover
It's like
frozen pizza.
pizza.
Look,
Yeah.
guys, it's the foremost authority
Yeah,
on
you
cold
gotta-
weather.
Showing us.
Okay.
Cold weather pizza parties.
Yeah. Cold
Okay,
pizza
well, look,
is the best
look.
pizza.
Dude, you send me the sub docs, I'll go all in with my entire life savings. Done.
I hope you're going to leverage it. I know somebody that'll help you.
Oh yeah. Once I figure out how to let them once they'll give me margin debt, I'll do that one too. I'll put fucking margin in.
All in.
What's everybody drinking?
I got a Bass beer again this week.
Alrighty.
I know Alberta doesn't drink, so
Butter doesn't, right?
No. No, that's a level of realness that frankly the world cannot handle.
I thought everybody up north drank. All those Polish Germans.
He's Canadian. He's French.
No, French on the east side.
Did y'all know that 90s is Canadian French? We actually are from the Nova Scotia area, but got ran out when the British took back over.
Yep.
Fun side story.
Where in Nova Scotia were you from? Because I'm from Nova Scotia.
So the story goes is that we were up there in Nova Scotia for the French king, taking care of his warehouses, I guess. And when the British came, they put us on a ship and shipped us back to France. But the family wanted to go back to Nova Scotia because of the weather, I guess, but ended up in New Orleans because no one would let us in on the East Coast.
Yep. Yeah, that sounds right.
anything else?
Yeah, that would have been what, the 1780s?
Yeah. And so we
90s.
actually landed in New Orleans and went up north towards Opelousas and got like 3,000 acres and started farming it. And then the depression, we lost it all and came to Port Arthur, Texas, and
There you
became
go.
oil people instead of cotton.
There you go.
90s, we have a request for you to say Alberta again, but kind of like roll the R like you did.
Alberta?
No, you said it a minute ago. You said it like
little
very
Hispanic.
Hispanic.
I must have been saying it quickly. Alberta? Am I saying it wrong?
You got to roll that R.
So that's like sometimes when you say remember, I don't say remember right. It don't sound right.
Well, you when you say Alberta, you've turned it into a 3-syllable word, but it's only 2 syllables.
I'm glad we're picking on 90s tonight. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say Alberta wrong.
We'll switch over to hot dog. Hot dog.
Go
I know
ahead.
you've been hanging out for too long. You probably got a lot to say.
Yeah, let's hear from Hot Dog.
I don't got too much to say. Can you guys hear me though?
Yeah.
Yep.
Man.
Yeah. No, I do like the idea of Alberta starting a pizza group, and we will fund that. The hot dog will fund that. So we're excited about getting that started.
It's a just FYI, sorry to interrupt. It's a PE firm, which is Pizza Equity.
Yeah. So I assume that. So that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. No.
I think hot dog is more focused on the Michigan State game this weekend.
Oh fuck! I'll tell you this right now. Before I was married, I used to have like breakdowns. There was a mason jar from my grandma's. This is like I think from my great grandmother's, and I shouldn't repeat this. I went into the basement and fucking smashed it when they lost. When they lost that one that game when they got the block. Yes, it's a huge deal. A very big deal over here. But we got our loads out. We hit loads this month, so we're pretty stoked about that and our gas. So we're moving along.
What was that midstream issue you were talking about earlier in the week?
Yeah, so we had a
4-hour thing.
Yeah, just a fluke kind of thing. We had to shut down gas production because on the midstream side, the new pipeline work. I mean, right now, I think we're doing close to 600 MCF a day or a little bit more. So we want to obviously keep it going in this environment.
Hot Dog Oil and I are going to meet up. We're going to get a Bitcoin mine running on his property. I'm going to set him up. We're going to go with it.
I mean, yeah, he said he's coming down for NAPE, so it sounds like you guys need to make.
I will be there for NAPE. Yep, I'll be there.
That gives me a reason to go.
I'll be there for NAPE for sure.
Maybe I could get a bid to go.
You want to go?
I want to go. I heard it's a party.
The wife.
It is a party.
You can do your thing.
Hey guys, one foul word about midstream. Golf cart to Michigan.
WTX, you look like you're having too much fun out in Norman right now.
It's pretty badass. I'm actually in Shawnee now. Maybe my settings are all fucked up.
So we can hear you. It's just a little broken.
Yeah, and we got a little like delay or something.
Ask Hot Dog Oil again your question. Maybe he can hear you.
Yeah, I didn't hear it. Go ahead.
Michigan tonight.
Say it one more time. You're breaking up. I mean, I like to get insulted, so I want to hear it again.
I said one fucking foul word on midstream, and I'm driving this golf cart to Michigan.
Okay, no, fair enough. I understand. Yep, nope. The midstream side, they don't mess up often. I'm not against it. I'm all in. So keep my mouth shut.
All right.
No worries.
I dropped the camera feed, so maybe that frees up some bandwidth here.
There you go. What are you shooting right now? You 27 under, or where you at?
Or are you just cruising in a golf cart?
Yeah, I guess. Are you even golfing?
No, something just fell apart. Something happened.
Holy shit! It seems like it really fell apart.
It's a refrigerator part. I don't know why we got it on the golf cart though. Welcome to Oklahoma, guys.
Your day off, you meant to grab a beer and you grabbed the handle off the refrigerator. I understand.
Should we try to get Kermit Andrews on here?
I mean, if he wants to.
I think Hot Dog jumped off or no?
He did. He probably had to go smash something in anticipation of the Michigan State game.
You know, that stadium is so huge to me. Have y'all seen the numbers on how many people can stay in it? That's the largest stadium in the United States, I think.
The big house.
Is it like 120 or 110?
It's huge.
It's sunken too, right? It's a pit.
I almost would say I don't ever want to go see any other team that's not like in Texas, kind of. But then I found out about that stadium, and I almost want to go see what it's like to have that many people packed into a place. Like the sound. Just
Michigan,
having-
Ohio State at the Big House. That's top game to go see for me. And then OU, Texas. I haven't been to that one.
The Ohio
State, Michigan game at the Big House, which is what they call it in Michigan. That's one I have to go see. And then OU, Texas at the.
That sounds like a pretty good game.
Yeah.
What happened to Ohio this year? I don't think they've been as deadly as they've have in the past.
I mean, they lost to Oregon. I think that's kind of the only blip.
I'm giving up on college football because LSU fucking sucks.
I mean, Ed Orgeron's too busy letting his girlfriend's kids run
drills.
drills and practice.
Is that actually?
It's kind of what got it ran off.
He
His
won.
kids
He won a national championship, and then just his rotating stable of girlfriends bring their kids to practice,
Yeah.
and he's.
So they still owe him $17 million. So they're letting him go, and he still is going to get paid $17 million.
He's like, I won a national championship. I don't really
I'm
care
good.
about football anymore.
I don't give a shit. Yeah, I just want to make gumbo and eat crawfish. I get it, man. I get it.
I wonder, does Alberta like college football, or do they not get into that?
It's really not a thing up here. I mean, some people will follow American stuff because they're really into it, but it's not a thing here.
So you're not a Canadian football guy?
Does the CFL still exist?
If it does,
Honestly, I
does
really
too,
don't
probably.
even know. I don't watch sports. It's just not really a thing. Like, I don't watch sports. None of my friends watch sports. Like,
so what do you bet on?
Yeah, what do you do? Now you got us curious.
oh, dude, you want to talk about crazy betting? I got this insane buddy of mine. I've scored 20 G's off this motherfucker since the fucking election. He bet 15 grand that Trump was going to be the president.
Holy shit.
And he paid.
You took
And
the
then
other
he bet
side?
so I'll just bet my buddy Curtis, because he bet me like, oh fuck, he bet me $1,000 that Anthony Fauci was going to go to prison.
I like your conspiracy betting that you got going
They
on.
bet on U.S. politics in Canada.
Can I stake you? I want to go on margin for this.
So we also have
I want a piece of this action.
We have a bet that Justin Trudeau is going to be thrown in prison. I think he is not going to be. My buddy thinks he's going to be. What else have we bet on? Oh, we bet on the price of oil. We bet $1,000 on the price of oil.
Random betting in Canada. I love it.
Yeah, we'll just bet on whatever, but we don't bet on college sports. I mean, I'm sure some people do, but I don't, and nobody I hang out with does. So, and I don't watch sports. So, what can I say?
Each their own.
Yeah, we just sit around here apologizing to each other and
Sorry.
worrying about climate change or something. I don't know.
I've got a 5K rolling bet with a guy that after Vince, what was it, Vince Allen or Vince? What's the guy from Texas UT that won the championship?
Vince Young.
Vince Young.
Vince Young. I said, y'all will never go back to the championship. And because I was an A&M kind of guy at the time, I said A&M has a better chance of getting to the championship than y'all ever getting back in it. And so for 5K, we've had a rolling bet until we both retire from the plant that UT will not get back to the championship. And at this point, I've been correct. Now A&M hasn't made it either, but
Well, now that Texas is coming to the SEC, they'll never, ever get back.
that's good for my bottom line.
They're going to get screwed pretty good.
Yeah, I mean,
You see what the Big 12 was picking up, though? Like Houston,
Cincinnati.
BYU, Cincinnati.
Who is?
Big 12. They need to fold Nebraska back in. Just because I'm a Kansas guy makes sense.
I have something to report. I have something to report. I'm sorry to break in.
Go ahead.
You're good.
I've just found the Cialis that Boar gave me during his birthday party. He gave me that one, but I just found the last one, and I found it on the floor. I'm glad a dog or a cat or a child didn't eat it. But yes, I had to pick it up and I said, "What the hell is this?" And it's a Cialis.
So Mrs. Buddy Stewart Wade is in the conference room with us today, and she just asked what Cialis was.
My hubby don't have that problem.
I'm told it's better than Viagra. That night I was told that.
I didn't take it. I don't know why he gave it to me.
You got it too?
He gave it to everybody. It was like a party
Where's it
gift.
at?
It was like a
He came out with a pill bottle of 100, and he was handing them out like they were Tic Tacs.
Yeah,
I left
it was
them
like
back.
a Bethesda
Shove them in their mouth. Thanks for the Tic Tacs.
Yeah. I didn't take it. You probably washed it in my jeans or something. I don't know.
My sister can prescribe.
There
Verification.
it is. That's it.
Verification.
Let me see it.
It's just like a little yellow oval.
Blue pill.
So we've just got all sorts of random people dropping into the waiting room, and
We're just
letting
letting
them
them
in
to
and see if they can figure out how to.
Yeah, everybody, make sure your autos.
Got to check your audio settings. Make sure your inputs are right. It's not a perfect system.
Hey, feel free to tell me to stop talking if the service isn't good enough.
You sound good now.
Sound good.
Yeah. So the Big 12's time to expand is passing. Like it's going to wither away and die soon, right? I think the Big 12 would have stood a chance if they would have went after like Louisville. Somebody mentioned another one like Cincinnati, Memphis, Tulane, maybe another small time Louisiana school. It just added a few. Even Houston would have been a good add, right? But now, why would any of those schools want to go to the Big 12?
Well, I mean,
with Oklahoma and Texas leaving?
Houston and Cincinnati are going to the Big 12, and like Central Florida. That's who they're replacing OU and Texas with. Is like Houston, Cincinnati, and
BYU, I think.
and Central Florida.
Central Florida.
Okay, maybe I haven't kept up with the news enough.
It just fucks up the, like the local geographical.
No, you're too busy working.
Obviously. So, yeah, and another question I had. My dad brought up a good point last night. We were cracking some Keystone Lights and talking about the Railroad Commission, putting the squeeze on some injectors, and then they've got the Gardendale response area. There's they've asked all those SWDs to inject less than 10,000 barrels a day. And at what point does it go from an ask to a demand or to an order, or they start severing leases and stuff like that? And at some point, like the politics have to get involved, right? And that's probably, I don't know, is that where it starts affecting like university lands income and revenue going to the University of Texas and Texas A&M, or is it something that's like, is there like a Clady Williams of the modern era that's finally going to go, no, fuck this?
I mean, university lands, at least in some spots, makes you do a pretty extensive, like geologic seismic review before they'll let you sign off on a SWD agreement. So I mean, I think they'll just probably dial back how much they're letting everybody inject per well, and then go from there.
Yeah, and most good operators nowadays that like, especially on a new drill or a new permit, like they're doing that type of stuff. If you're a smaller group, it's probably pretty hard to hire a geo to go do that kind of work for you.
Or they'll just make everybody start doing those like Ellenberger Devonian deep disposal wells.
Has anybody seen the evaporation pit set up? Have you seen that?
I've heard people talk about it.
They basically have like misters, right? And just like mist the water to help it evaporate quicker. And you're just left with a bunch of salt. Instead of injecting an SWD, you just evaporate the water into the atmosphere.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what really will happen at high prices again, is all these beneficial reuse projects will start popping up again. You know, just to try and bypass
Seems
having
like,
to
seems
put
like
it.
Continental was doing it seemed like Continental was doing quite a bit of that, like, I don't know, Grady County, something in that area. It's been a while since I've even heard about somebody doing one of those projects.
Yeah, and then there's the recycle stuff.
Well,
you know,
I think
XTO
New
and
Mexico, New Mexico's a lot stricter than Texas is, and so I think that's where people are focusing those projects on.
On evaporation.
Yeah,
Less
just any
injection,
kind of
reduction
beneficial
of
reuse
SWDs.
or whatever.
I bet the
alternative.
Haynesville too, because they can't get a damn disposal permit in Louisiana.
You have to. That's why trucking companies in Shreveport are so prominent, because they have to haul it to Texas, right
That's
across the
what I mean.
line, every one of them.
Yeah.
Because they can't drill a SWD.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. You know, there's a group at Texas or at University of Texas that is trying to stop and wants to plug out all university land production and all that. Like, wants to kill it. I mean, it sounds right? I mean, it's like
No, yeah, I mean that makes sense. That
probably everybody from fucking San Francisco
Right.
that's over there now.
a bunch of, you know,
Yeah,
some department.
yeah.
Well, if you're in Louisiana, why don't you just dump it in the fucking swamp?
Hey now, hey now, hey
Put
now.
it in the water.
These
Still
motherfuckers. They probably should. It honestly is probably better than the quality
I was
of
gonna say
fish
it'll
that come
probably
out of
the
lake.
quality
It'll
of the
probably
water,
make it
I would
better.
say.
You know why every coon ass is fucked up? Because they fish in Lake Pontchartrain and it's all the mercury and all the shit from the Mississippi River. They're just like, oh, these are fresh, you know, whatever, speckled trout. No, that fish is heavy metal.
The sickest I've ever been in my life was fish out of Calcasieu.
Yep.
I ate a redfish and it like the meat didn't look right. And I was
Right.
like, I don't know anything about a redfish.
This
I
makes
grabbed
me
that son of a
sick.
bitch. I remember it was when I lived in Shreveport. I went to a movie by myself because I didn't have any friends. And, I remember I was in that movie theater and all of a sudden I was like,
Felt like shit.
I was like, oh
yeah.
damn. Oh goddamn.
Yeah.
Oh goddamn.
Yeah, no, it's pretty nasty down there. Best fish, Manistee, Michigan, steelheads. Beautiful. Just.
They dropped some nasty shit in those lakes up there too.
You think so?
In the Great Lakes.
You ever seen the shipwrecks that are up there? You know Schultz, my friend, right? He's got a boat and he goes out and the lakes are so clear you can see the old wooden shipwrecks, like the holes still there and stuff. It's cool as shit.
Is this on the east or the west side of the
This
state?
would be Michigan Lake, so it'd be
West
the west
side.
side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
So
it-
they probably
is
go
Hot
like
Dog on?
Green.
No.
Yeah, he was.
But not anymore.
Yeah.
Did Frag Slap come?
No, he's not here.
He
West
called in
Texas
that-
Wolves in Oklahoma right now, by the way.
Shawnee.
Oh really?
He's in Shawnee.
What the hell is he
Hanging
doing
out.
in Shawnee?
That's where his
Looks like he was on
his
golf.
wife's family lives there, I believe.
Oh,
Shawnee.
I know a girl who lives in Shawnee.
Me too. Or not.
She runs the McAllisters there. Girl I went to high school with.
Oh,
Jackie
yeah.
Bell. Jackie Bell. She's hot.
Nope.
She runs
Who's
the
it?
McAllisters there with the Honda. Damn.
Runs the wait, did you say McAllister?
Yeah.
Runs McAllister's?
Mhm.
Like
So who
owns
is that,
it or
Victor?
runs it?
Runs it. She's like the manager, I think.
So making them away.
Victor, we can't. We got to cut you off because I think you're
I'm not
causing
judging.
a feedback loop.
Does anybody want to call
I mean,
Cheers.
whatever.
Blake Street Bomber? We need some input on midstream.
I don't live on source of income.
Or does anybody have any tobacco?
You don't want to lower him?
No.
I mean,
To
I
what?
have
To
a, I
Jackie?
have a 3
Yes.
milligram.
hotness.
I need
I'll show her to you.
whatever
She'd be like, damn.
I bet she's
appreciate it.
It's all, I mean, that's not tobacco.
No,
You
it's
think I
not.
He
really
just,
like
needs,
blondes?
he just wants
Some nicotine.
100%.
Yeah.
What?
Alberta, do you dip? Smoke cigarettes? Anything?
No.
you jerk
Holy
off.
shit, this
This
guy's
anti-oil field.
That's his one vice, I think, is
Is
the
jerking
ladies.
off.
Well,
Yeah.
the
So, like-
You jerk off, Alberta?
I do. Yes. Yes.
I just had to make sure.
in his llama socks.
As long I only can do it. I can only get it when I'm completely surrounded by plaid. So, you know, sometimes it's logistically tough, but I wear a lot of plaid, so it kind of works itself out.
That's hilarious.
But no, I don't dip. I don't smoke.
Yeah.
I mean, back in the day, I used to smoke a lot of weed. and we all put tobacco in our weed because it's just a weird thing that we do in Nova Scotia. But when I stopped smoking weed, I had no urge to smoke.
I want to say hot.
There you go.
Look at that leg.
Plus, cigarettes are like fucking $15 a pack up here, so you know.
Counselors.
Yeah, packs $15.
Those are really hot.
You're not growing tobacco.
Dude, in New York City, you can't buy a pack of cigarettes. It's like $25 for a pack of
Even
cigarettes.
for
up there.
vagina slimes,
Yeah.
Oh
They're expensive as shit. Vagina slime.
Back in fucking Nova Scotia, though, what we used to do is people would take a like a U-Haul truck, and they'd drive to Quebec, and they'd go to a reserve there, and you can buy these bags of Indian cigarettes for like, you could get like 200 cigarettes for like $8. And they'd fucking load these fucking trucks up. They'd have like a Penske 5-ton or some shit, loaded to the gills with illegal cigarettes, and they fucking drive it back. And then every once in a while, they get some like fucking dumbass 18-year-old kid to drive it. Every once in a while, one of them would get popped with like fucking 300,000 cartons of illegal cigarettes. The poor kid would get dumped with like a $5 million tax fine. Just fucking ruin it forever. But everybody smoked these fast cigarettes. It's kind of a sort of fun.
Like, we kind of have that in Tulsa still because there's still Indian smoke shops around.
My buddy's wife owns. Yeah.
And what? There's no tax and stuff.
Well, the thing is, in the cross-border tobacco trade in Quebec, it's not just that they're selling untaxed cigarettes. They actually have cigarette manufacturing plants on the reserves there.
Oh, wow.
So they're manufacturing their own, like they're buying tobacco from the States and manufacturing their own cigarettes and then just selling them, at whatever. I don't know what the profit margin is, but I can't imagine it's too bad.
Well, I'll tell you a story about a guy we know who rolls off-brand cigarettes. His profit margins are astronomical.
Oh,
I believe it.
You want to say probably close to $750,000 a month.
Yeah, like Excalibur.
Beautiful.
You can look at him.
Yeah.
He's got like a 10,000 square foot steel metal warehouse.
If you like playing the slots, you like these cigarettes.
Yeah. They do. They order just bags of. They come in like trash bag size bags of tobacco from the Carolinas.
Right.
And they just dump them in a hopper, and then they have a box of rolling paper. And they put it in the machine, and the fucking ass
and
under
they
the
bought
machine
this old ass
just
fucking machine.
sends out goddamn cigarette fucking packs. Just boom, 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 boom. They have like 5 employees.
If you go to if there's certain reserves that are straddling the border between New York State and Quebec, and if you go to those reserves, everybody's driving all the fucking locals are driving brand new fucking Escalades and shit, like Mercedes. They're just fucking balling out because everybody fucking works in the illegal cigarette business. So they're making money. They're probably making, comparable. They did exactly the same thing you're describing. So, shitty old equipment, bags of tobacco.
Cigarettes go north, and then where's maple syrup?
Oh, dude, that's
back. Illegal shit.
Have you ever watched the thing about the documentary about that shit?
Illegal shit.
That's some fucked up
some
shit.
maple fucking syrup for pancakes.
Well, I mean that's Quebec, man. Because
we ain't talking about Jemima.
That's Quebec, though. Quebec is the most shitty, corrupt place in North America. The fucking place is run by the mafia.
Worse than worse than Detroit.
Is
Quebec way worse,
Toronto
way worse than Detroit?
Is Toronto in Quebec?
No, Toronto's in Ontario.
Oh. So Quebec,
it's its own brand of shithole.
Quebec's a little bit west.
To the more west of that.
No, Quebec's north of that.
North.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, but Quebec's where all the maple syrup is.
There's a lot of maple syrup coming out of Quebec.
That's where they all speak French.
Yes, unfortunately, yes.
No wonder it's corrupt.
Quebecois.
Exactly, yeah. See, we can't understand what they're saying, so they're talking about all kinds of corrupt shit, and we're just standing there like idiots, like, what the fuck are these people talking about in this incomprehensible dead language?
It's the same thing in Francophone Africa. They're talking in West Africa.
Are they?
Oh, yeah.
No,
They
dude.
talk French in New Orleans.
So, like, You don't speak French, Alberta.
No, fuck no. They tried to teach me that shit in school, but I wasn't having it.
So is that like a sign of being like a fucking elitist bastard in Canada? Like if you speak in French, are you just a fuckhead?
Kinda, yeah.
Okay.
Like people in Alberta tend not to think very highly of the French, of the Quebecois.
Okay.
And they also don't think too highly of us generally, so I don't really give a fuck.
So they think you're a bunch of dumb rednecks, basically. Just like
everybody in Canada thinks that Albertans are dumb rednecks.
Yep. It's
It is
no
the
different in the United
broad-based-
States. If you're from the middle part of the United States, the flyover states as they call them, yeah, you're just a dumb piece of shit redneck.
And that's the same with Alberta.
Who happens to feed and power and do a bunch of shit for all the East and West Coast elite fucktards.
Man, everybody up here, literally the premier of Alberta got elected because he said he was going to bring in a law to turn off the fucking oil and natural gas for the rest of Canada.
I'd vote
That's
for
what
that.
he got elected. He got elected on turn off the fucking taps.
Dude,
And then he didn't because he's a bitch.
that is my
He did it 'cause
go-to
he's a bitch.
to every one of these politicians that were drilling, on the little committee for
Yeah.
fossil fuels and climate change. That was my spit back to all of them was like, just fucking sell everything that is related to petroleum, donate it to the black community, whatever you want to do. Go straight off of petroleum all you can, and then I'll vote for you. Or I'll donate because you're probably not my district, you're not my congressman. I'll give you $10,000 to any one of those fuckers on that panel that completely gets rid of everything petroleum related in their life.
Fuck that. Why get them to do it on their own accord? You got fucking valves, turn them off. Fuck them. Don't let them get ready. Wait for it to get nice and chilly. Fucking shut her down.
Shut it off.
This is what we
Yeah,
need to
you
do.
know.
Let's
Whatever.
create an educational video and put it on Twitter.
Okay.
Get a fucking crescent wrench. Walk out to your gas meter
Shut it off.
and close the valve. Like, you don't want fucking hydrocarbons in your life? Here you go. This is how you're gonna shut it off.
I'm taking notes right now. We're doing.
You know what you do? You go to one of the states. You go to one of the states that loves sucking off environmentalists. That doesn't have like a law that says you can shoot someone who fucks with an infrastructure project or something. And then you get a whole bunch of signs that say like save the planet or suck off Earth or whatever. And then you break into a pumping station, you ESD the line, and you just occupy the pumping station so they can't turn it back on. And you know that if you have signs that say save the Earth and support Patagonia or whatever, I don't know, that they'll leave you like they'll bring all the news cameras and then they won't stop you. Fuck it.
No, I love it.
It's almost like I've thought about this.
It's almost like you've thought about this.
Yep.
That's
But you have to make sure that you don't shower for a week before you go, or you get like a dreadlock wig or something, and don't wear any plaid or coveralls or work boots or anything.
But you can wear
then they'll know
Carhartts.
your plan.
Carhartts are hip with these kind of people.
Hey?
Carhartt hats and stuff are real hip with
All
the
the
fucking
frat boys, they love that Carhartt shit.
with kids that never had dirt under their fingernails. That's the fucking
I
shit.
don't really
I
think
love
your
it.
wife is way prettier.
Well, anyway, I'm just laying out a framework here for how people, how we achieve victory.
I think we can get it done. I'm at food supply, energy supply, all kinds of stuff. We could just shut the fuck down for those people.
Well, I've told Hot Dog that with the shitty Democratic governor that he has in Michigan,
Yes.
that he can become some kind of Mad Max warlord if he just decides not to give them any of his natural gas.
Oh yeah.
No, man. You know what? I hope happens. I hope maybe we can get Hot Dog to go up there and shut down Line 5. I know you guys may not agree with this, but I want Enbridge Line 5 to get shut down in like January or February because it'll freeze out Ontario and Quebec. They'll be screwed. They'll literally freeze to death. So if someone there like Hot Dog could do that for me, I would send him a Amazon gift card or something.
You send them a fucking Little Caesars hot and ready.
Oh, I will personally come to the nearest border location and throw a cross-border pizza party.
you know, my personal politics is shut in all oil production outside of Oklahoma. All of it.
Now you're talking. I feel you, man. I get it.
Everywhere else.
Everywhere we don't have production,
Yeah.
shut it the fuck off.
We're not fucking making oil there, then shut it goddamn down.
$10,000 a barrel.
Does
Yeah.
Louisiana not make the cut?
It makes a cut.
Just barely.
Just Caddo Pine Island,
Just north Louisiana.
Northwest.
Where the first offshore well was ever drilled, and I'll stand on that. I'm pretty sure.
I'm
that's
sure the
a fact.
Russians say they did it first. I'm sure they did.
Over a frozen fucking lake.
It's not the same. Yeah. Are you offshore drilling if you drill on frozen lake?
You're not.
Alberta could probably answer that question.
They drill it. It's nuts.
Alberta, have you ever drilled on the lake?
No, I haven't drilled on the lake. I mean, we drill lots of places where like the muskeg is thick enough that you have to wait and build an ice road over the muskeg to get a rig in.
Is that like a
That's like-
river? Or
No, it's like
No, it's just like a
Tundra?
like the majority of northern Canada before you hit permafrost is basically a peat bog.
Yeah, it's small tundra.
So it's
There's no bottom to it.
yeah, exactly. Like there's no spot I was working there last winter. Another company they roughed their ice road and they broke through the ice road and sunk a rig, and they broke like 3 bed trucks trying to get it out, and they had to leave it there. And I don't know if they must have got it out at some point, but you know, you can sink a rig in the muskeg.
It's like the swamp of despair in the Neverending Story.
Yes.
It is.
You just
And I mean, the flies there in the summer are the size of hummingbirds.
And we got a fucking compressor rig stuck in Osage. Because it rained one fucking day. Yeah, we're like a bunch
dude.
of pussies.
The first night I spent in North Dakota, we circulated 10-pound brine through the whole frac system to try to keep it from freezing, and it still froze.
It's still fucking.
And I was like, God damn, this is cold.
Yeah.
I was like, motherfucker, this is cold.
So you've worked. I mean, the Haynesville was humid as motherfucker. Like
Yeah.
pretty close to the most humid motherfucking place you ever been.
Yeah.
And then you go to probably one of the coldest places.
Well, the funny thing is like the Haynesville boom happened. So like a lot of like workers from everywhere came there.
Right.
And then the North Dakota boom. And so like I like went Haynesville, North Dakota. And when I'd go up there, they were like, I don't know how the hell y'all fucking work down in Louisiana.
Right.
Like you guys are crazy.
There's
So
some
fucking
like
hot. And it's
reality show that sucks dick, but they drilled wells in Cheneyville for a local operator out of Cheneyville, and Canadians that worked on rigs came down there and worked for this guy and worked on rigs.
So Apache, I don't remember why they said they did this, but they literally brought Alberta. What's like a Canadian based rig?
Trinidad.
owner? No.
Oh yeah.
Enzyme.
Insight.
Insight.
And they had some
Enzyme.
crazy frac
Enzyme.
in
But-
New Mexico that
yeah.
were all
But
they're from
the-
Canada. They brought them from Canada.
The
I
Apache
saw that.
San Antonio office.
When? What year?
2018.
I mean,
Citadel.
frac fleets
That's
in
Citadel.
Mexico were like
But they moved these rigs from Canada down
The
to
drilling
West
rigs.
Texas. Yeah.
Yep.
Like super singles. Or like
Oh,
all
super
the
single?
fucking Canadian. Every
they had
goddamn
they
Canadian
had
drills are
the
super
super
singles.
single.
They had all the
Yeah.
barriers, like the snow,
Oh, yeah.
snow
Oh,
Oh,
shield
the prefabs.
and shit
Prefabs.
on them.
Windbreakers. Or whatever.
Yep.
well the
Yep.
frac fleets were all
Yeah.
like in
It was-
like in housing. Like all the pumps were inside of a housing. So all you saw were basically these like big lines. I don't know why
Oh
they
yeah.
did it. I don't know if they
Well,
got
that's
illegal or if I don't know. It was in
that's why. Yeah, everything up here is like that because it gets so cold.
Yeah, they got fucking paid.
Yeah, so they had some Canadian rigs with all the snow shields and stuff still on them drilling in West Texas.
Really?
Yeah.
They put up the prefabs. Oh, that's fucking weird.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole situation
Yeah.
was weird because they decided to just pay to move rigs from Canada to West Texas.
When I guarantee you, H&P had them sitting in the yard. I
In
guarantee
Odessa.
fucking it right in Odessa.
Yeah.
We used to live right down the street. They had 15 fucking rigs sitting right there. Yeah.
Why do Canadians love super singles so much? How about that question?
Super singles.
Husker Canadian.
Yeah. Why the fuck do y'all
Because
goddamn
because you can do a lot of things. Like you don't need a triple for most things. And with today's bit technology, you're not doing 20 bit trips in a well. So what the fuck do you need derrick capacity for? Beyond hook load, what do you need the ability to stand 3 stands in derrick or 3 joints in derrick? Who cares? And they don't fucking trip that much. Like, I've worked on doubles and I've worked on singles up here, and the double can trip 800, maybe 850 meters an hour. You get a good super single, 700 meters an hour tripping, no problem. And if you're moving all the time, like I've worked places, we're doing 2-day holds. So moving every 2 days, and your hole's 2,000 meters or whatever. What do you need any more than a super single for?
You're saying when you're done drilling in super singles, it's all laid down anyways, right?
What a super single does is like the derrick telescopes. Like when you're drilling, like the top.
No, that's like a telly double. That'd be like a telly double. Super single is usually a solid 1-piece derrick.
So, but doesn't have like a fucking monkey
board. You just pick up every joint.
Yeah. So like
every
time you run, you put in and you pull it out.
That's variable because there's some super singles that do have a monkey board and you can stand pipe in the derrick. And there's some super singles that have like an 80R rig that have a pipe.
So Chesapeake had a rig in the Barnett that was a revolver. All the pipe was
it had a carousel.
A carousel,
yeah.
A pipe carousel.
Huh. Weird.
You could be racking pipe. And
you
then
could rack
down
pipe
at
and
the
then
same
go.
time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was slick.
Me too.
That didn't catch on. But so super single though, if you can fucking rack it, I guess then it's only because you rack singles though. You don't rack doubles or triples.
No, you're racking singles, but
about that.
Hey?
Every fucking connection. I don't know why you would want to do that.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like, if you're not doing bit trips, then what does it matter? Like, if you're just doing a monobore or something, you're just drilling, and then you're going to come out sideways anyway and run casing. So what do you
Can
need?
we talk about the ESG impact of fucking doping every joint?
Oh, shit.
But you make up the joints. Like, they don't have a fucking ST80, right? Or an iron roughneck. They make it up with the fucking top drive on a super single every joint, right?
Usually, yep.
So they use a drop on top.
Yeah, so since it's only one joint, you pick it up,
pick
you
it up,
just
and then
fucking
you make
stab
it
it.
up with it.
You make it up, and then you pull the slips and start drilling with that joint. So it's like, and then when you pull it, you just fucking back it out with
Same
it.
way.
Same way.
Okay.
You drop the
I mean,
slips.
I've worked on a super single, and we knocked out, we'd knock out 500 feet an hour in real drilling, not instantaneous, but like we'd actually fucking knock out 300 meters in 2 hours.
Huh. And I guess they're smaller rigs, right? I mean,
you're looking at whatever 20, 26, 30 loads on a rig move. So, versus a fucking, a triple. Like, sure, if you're gonna drill a 60-day hole, rig up triple. But I mean, shit, man.
But
when I remember working on Bonanza 2, we TD'd 9 holes in 18 days, and these were horizontals. And we would have trucks show up at 4:30 a.m. and we'd be picking up tools at 9. Wow. We'd be bopped on, pressure tested, rigged up, and picking up tools in 4.5 hours.
So the Walker rigs are cool, but have you seen the spider leg one?
Yeah.
That one's pretty slick.
Yeah. But I mean, a slingshot rig, you're going to spend, I would say 48 hours rigging up, probably, right?
Just sliding?
Like a triple, like an H&P Flex 3 or 4.
Okay.
I'm saying like a slingshot, instead of a box rig.
Oh, okay.
The old rigs are box rigs, right? Where you would like stack the fucking substructure up.
Yeah.
Then you'd fucking put the rig on top of the substructure. Right. But a slingshot is where it basically has hydraulic arms and stands up. And then your derrick's on hydraulic arms and it pushes it up too. So basically you slingshot it up, you slingshot the derrick up, and then you're fucking drilling. But I feel on a super single that you can't get a shit ton of BOP under there though. Right? I mean, isn't that a constraint? Like your body, high pressure gas wells.
Those Haynesville wells had fucking substructures that were
Well, if you got a
stories
shit ton
fucking
of
tall.
fucking, shit, you got to get on your BOP, and it's a 10K BOP or something, right? Like,
No, and I mean that's I will say up here we don't run much. Like most of the wells that I will drill, you might only need a class 1 stack. Like you might need just the bare minimum because it's a shallow well, it's a heavy oil well. There's no fucking pressure. You're never going to be able to encounter enough pressure to need something more than 2K.
Yeah. In the Haynesville, the substructures of those rigs were at least like 2 stories tall. But those were, 10,000 PSI well, monster gas well. So I get it, but
Yeah, so I mean that we just don't tend to do that. Like we don't drill a lot of wells that are like that. Montney wells, your average Montney well, you usually have a telly double rig, and that'll have a higher substructure than one of those little super singles. And so, and you just probably need, I'm trying to remember, but you definitely
was
need
it coil tubing up there or stick pipe for drill outs?
For what?
Coil
y'all run a lot of coil up there.
for drill outs.
No, we don't drill. We intend to drill out with coil at least. Oh yeah. Sorry. For drilling out plugs. Yeah.
But like fucking hard on the goddamn
On the coil side.
Yeah.
But you see, like Pennsylvania and West Virginia, them motherfuckers run snubbing units.
For sure.
They run that deep well snubbing units on everything for drill outs.
Yeah.
Well, but they're like when we did our 3 mile drill out, we had like a flex rig
Okay.
that was like between like a coil plus had like snubbing unit, but it was to handle pressure and to like help.
It was.
That's all you drill those
Friction.
Haynesville wells with are flex rigs.
And it drilled them
Drilling
out like
rigs.
it was a coil,
Yeah, but those
but it
are
had
deep
it was like
high
a flex
pressure,
rig,
yeah.
but it
Yeah.
drilled them out no problem. 3 mile wells got to bottom.
Because if you're 3 miles in the Permian, I see it just depends. Midland side, a lot of people use stick.
Because it's lower pressure.
Yes.
It doesn't have as much gas.
And then you go to the Delaware side and they use those big fucking coil units.
Like
Huge.
2 and 3/8.
2 and 3/8. The trailer has like 47 axles, like big motherfuckers. But then I saw some people in like Pennsylvania, whatever, Marcellus stuff, they just use those like standalone snubbing units.
Right. So you're asking why?
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know why, like, maybe it's easier to get around a snubbing unit up in those little shitty fucking roads in Pennsylvania. Because I know there's time up there. I mean, I know Chesapeake had to build or have a rig company build certain drilling rigs to get through like Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they don't have like crazy long, but you just can't move them.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I mean, if you're up to me and I didn't work for a big company where safety was over the top, I would run a snubbing unit and rig for a drill out every time.
Rig
If it was low,
snubbing unit.
low pressure. I mean, coil's easy, but you can get yourself in trouble with coil.
I love coil tubing though.
I know.
That's
Well,
like
it's
my
cool. I
shit.
mean, they rig that bastard up and
just spool it down
Spool
and
it
go.
in.
Yeah.
But if you put the rig on there, then it's like you get it all done. It's like, like you drill it out, you pull your tube out, you let it flow, you run it back in, put it back
Lay
in
your
the hole,
snubbing
and let it
down,
fucking run.
run your
I'm talking about a
production.
gas well, I guess. but
Yeah, run your production tubing in and be done.
yeah, I don't know. Anyways, I think it's time.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
Shutting it down.
Appreciate it again.
See y'all.
Peace.
You guys.
Have a good one.